What is going on? You are listening to Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. I am your host, Stevie V. This is episode 697 in studio, sitting across from Lincoln. How you doing?
I'm here. I'm great.
Awesome. So great to see your face. Dance or Die says his t-shirt. We're gonna
Lady Gaga.
love it. Oh. Also joining me is sitting across from me on the other end, the one and only Cody Maurice Dolgett. How the hell you doing, Cody?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. Thank y'all.
It's great to see your faces
see you
when we
guys
record
too.
this. Yeah, well, let's get right into our sex talk. You heard a TED Talk, Sex Talk Part 1. And it all stemmed from best cruising stories. We've talked a lot about cruising on this show.
As we should.
Dark rooms and so forth. It stemmed from an article that I was reading where a cop in a Sears bathroom, I didn't know Sears was still around, but bottoming on a military base, mistaking a tree for a rugged man. Gays were sharing their best cruising stories, and they ranged from the New York Sports Club here in New York as a mecca to find men, to, of course, other gym stories, to locker rooms, to in Nebraska, cruising the park just minutes outside of Offutt Air Force Base. Sorry if I just butchered that. It was a hot spot for local men to hit young military men. That just reminds me of Tom of Finland, the movie. Craigslist, of course, putting where you wanted to meet up with people and then finding them in department stores, anonymous Grindr hookups, and so forth. But
Does Grindr count as cruising?
it doesn't.
And
but
now Sniffies, right?
Sniffies
Well,
would be the
Now
current
Sniffy, the current
version, I feel, where you could put, hey, I'm going to be here. And it got me thinking about cruising, and I've always been a fan of it. I tend to cruise, and we'll discuss a little bit more, in dark rooms, and that's always been my go-to. Years before a bathhouse, of course, but dark rooms is my go-to. You and I, Cody, were just recently at the Boxers in HK on a Thursday night of all places, and they had a dark room. I went.
How was that?
It was
I had
really good. You said,
Is it a low ceiling?
Is a low ceiling.
It's a low ceiling.
And shout out to Luca.
It's a low
I love
ceiling.
Luca. Hi, Luca.
Shout out to Luca, who I love, and who runs that dark room.
That's
and
fun.
Shirts have to be off. That was a mandatory thing. Diego did not want to take his shirt off. And I said, well, yeah, we don't have to go down there. You encouraged me, Cody, to go down there. And Diego was like, yes, just go. I'll be fine. And I did have some fun down there.
You guys went together.
Yeah, we went to a burlesque show beforehand, and then
Brolesque. Shout out to
Oh,
Brolesque.
after
Burlesque.
that, it was over. It was
Wow.
we were
And
like,
I
let's
was
go.
summoned onto
Oh my
the
God.
stage.
The video.
to
Did you see the
be-
video?
I have not seen the video.
This is so getting a little. We'll get back to
Yes.
cruising, but literally, we're sitting in the front. You said you picked a table right in the front row,
That's
which
what they
was
said.
fine.
Horrible idea.
They sat us there.
And I told Diego, well, it's not a drag show, so we're safe.
Yeah.
Well, no, we weren't, because the master of ceremonies was really good. The show's great. Go see it at
Balcon Salon.
Balcon Salon in Hell's
I call
Kitchen.
that place bacon.
I know.
It looks like bacon.
And
to
I was going
me.
to say Balcon, like French.
It's a very
I
hard
love
name.
that. We should do that.
I
Balcon.
mean, but
I'll
they
be a
call-
bacon.
So at one point, they pull up people from the audience, and he says, you can come up here, come on. And it's all, he'll
Oh,
read a
God.
question, you have to do it. And me and this guy, there was like 8 of us up there at one point.
Yeah.
And the MC turns to the first person and says, oh, he turned a card over, and it says, you get a shot.
Yeah.
And me and the guy next to me are like, oh, that's it.
So
we just have to do a
the
shot.
first couple of people were so easy.
The second person, do a runway walk, and then you get a shot. I'm like, oh, I could do that one easy. As we moved down, it was just lip sync and a few other things. Get another
Still
shot.
all really easy.
I'm the last person, and we get to me. Not only do I not just get my shot, I have to be a part of the next number, which was like 5 minutes, where I'm sitting in a chair, and it's very Janet Jackson straddling over me.
Lap dance
situation.
situation.
But I played it off, and
You
I
did great.
Yeah,
You were a consummate performer.
I mean, I did.
There
the
were
best thing.
instructions. The same dancer instructed me to do some things too. So
Yeah.
he's a performer. So you had to be a part of the performance. You had to be on.
I get
And
It was fun.
So it was
It was fun. Long story short, we went out afterwards and we went to Boxers where they did have a dark room. Back to cruising, that is my most comfortable place of cruising. I've always
Back
really
room.
wanted to do cruising in a park. My friend has taken me to Brooklyn, the iconic park in Brooklyn called
Prospect
Park, and he's taken me to the areas that would be cruising. And I always feel like I'm going to get ticks or something. And I have a tick mitt, but I feel like that's not sexy.
Mama, you're not wearing a tick mitt to the cruising place.
I really want to
God.
do
Can you
more that kind of cruising.
That is
but
hilarious.
I'll talk more about dark rooms. But what is your experience, best cruising stories? What do you like about cruising? Where have been some of your favorite places?
This is a story I do not tell, I think, often. When I was very young, like a little too young, there was a Jump Go in Dublin,
Jump Go.
California. In Dublin.
Stop it.
And
Okay, that was the old Target, if you will, people
it was
listening. Like, what is a Jump Go?
Right.
I was
Jump
like
Go was
lost.
like Target. Yeah. It was a great. And I went
Thank you.
into the men's room there, and again, I was really young, and someone tapped their foot, and then there was like this, and I knew what was happening. There is no reason for me to know what was happening, but I knew what was happening. And I had a really good time with a much older man. And it wasn't
predatory.
at all.
Okay.
How
It was
old were
just
you
really-
about?
Just too young. We'll
Okay.
just leave it there. But what I will tell you is when you're that young, a dick is enormous because you're small. You're a young little kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we didn't even come or anything. It was just like this sensual feeling thing. And I left and it was like magic. And that opening that Pandora's box, especially when it's a little too young, like I've been in therapy. I know the story I'm telling. It started, I can't be in a room like that and not expect it to start happening.
I think
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, like no matter what. I was in Columbus, Ohio with my partner. We went to World Gym. And
I used to work out there, yeah.
we used to have the funniest story of like if someone threw me out of the back of a fucking plane, I would end up in a back room or like in a cruising situation, right? So we were just talking about that story and I'm like, it's Columbus, Ohio. It's not going to happen. We were both standing at the urinals and behind us was a stall. And I heard, where's metal? But I heard metal hitting like a sound.
Clank, clank.
Like a clank, like a metal. And my partner at the time turned and said, "What is that?" And I went, "Wow, it's a cock ring tapping on a porcelain bowl."
That's hot.
And as I said it, the stall door opened and there was a guy jerking off with.
Whoa.
And that person I was with was like, "Out of the back of a plane, I
Come on
could throw
now.
you." It was crazy.
But can I
You
tell
know
you something?
what's-
I've lived in the
It's a good story.
I've
I
lived
love
in the
that story.
Midwest. Those motherfuckers are
They know what
horny.
I bet he was
they
a
are
freaking
horny.
priest. It was like it was so hot.
Well, you know what he tapped into that I think is often missing in the conversation on why do people like cruising is the sensory, what you said, sensory experience that doesn't involve a lot of chit-chat talk. There might be some grunts, clanking, and the sounds the tapping of a foot. All these kinds of things are really unique to cruising experiences. And when I was in that back room recently and had fun with the boy, it was that sensory experience of nipple play and hairy chest and touch. And maybe somebody over here came and was on this nipple. And it's really not a lot of chalk, and it's a lot of eye contact and getting that initiation from somebody else that I think is really hot and sexy, that really is why our community likes cruising in many ways. And what do you say to cruising, and what's some of your stories, Cody?
So I've cruised so many places: back rooms, parks, truck stops, all the places that you can think of. I have cruised there probably. But my favorite one, well, it's the sauna at the gym is one of my favorite ones, number one. But not anymore because, I don't want to be
Yeah, gyms aren't
excommunicated.
what they were
They're not
back
anymore.
then.
Back in the day, back in like
I'm
2008.
sure you could still find it, but yeah.
But I don't do it anymore.
I don't either, yeah.
So one of my favorite stories, though, in the gym was I was at New York Sports Club, so it's funny that they bring it up. And I was in the shower, and there was another guy like catty corner to me, so I could see into his like shower curtain was open a little bit, so I could see in there, and he could see into my stall because mine was open a little bit as well. So we're like checking each other out, right? And then we start to play with ourselves, and
that build up.
It's the build up, and that's what I feel like you don't get in dark rooms. I feel like there's no like danger.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, it's
So-
a getting caught
Yeah.
situation.
So we're playing with ourselves, and then next thing you know, he hops into my shower stall, and we're making out, and we are like jacking off each other and doing all the things, and then one thing leads to another, and we end up going back to his house. So it was super hot. I wish we could call me sir. I don't remember your name, but it was really hot, and it was great.
Gyms in LA back in the day, Crunch Fitness was a huge. Gold's downtown was a huge. They had a sauna, but the one was here in New York. It doesn't exist anymore. It was, so I could probably talk about it. It was a 24-hour fitness on 26th Street, and Madison Square Park was across the street, and I would work out there. And one time I went there on a Friday night, and it wasn't that busy. There was a guy in there, younger guy,
Yeah.
across from me, and I like opened up my towel. He came over, was really aggressive, started sucking on me, and I could see this little rectangle window looking out. So I was hyper aware because I'm a little panicky at times about getting that kind of stuff.
That's what makes it hot.
It made
makes
it
it
hot.
so hot.
It makes it
He
hot.
sucked me off, came, and I was looking always just to make sure nobody was going to like walk in on us. We had that experience. He walked away. It was amazing. And it was steamy, obviously, in a steam room. And yeah, those.
You know what? That connects to me, and I'm a hippie, so bear with me for a minute. But I think that that's tribal. I think that that's inherent in our species. Because imagine back in the day when like cavemen were worried about some animal coming around the corner or attacking the family, and that feeling of like, what if we get caught, and doing things and it's getting caught. I will say, to turn it very dark and stormy, it's a little bit, because I lived through back rooms in San Francisco in the 80s, they feel dangerous to me.
Do they?
Yeah, because a lot of people passed during that time.
Yeah.
And you don't have an entire generation of guys that just wanted to have sex dying and not always think about that.
Yeah. I see.
Whenever you're in, like, having that a backroom experience now is such a privilege.
Yes.
Because
Compared
so
to what
many
it would have
people
been,
died in
yeah.
the name of that. And when they were closing the bathhouses and all that stuff. It's like,
I mean, if we're getting
just-
so mainstream
sorry
now.
to be so. Well,
No, but if
No,
we're getting
it's okay.
so mainstream
Yeah,
now
sorry.
that
It brings perspective.
boxers. No, thank you for bringing that up. There's an OnlyFans model that we're going to talk about that is using HIV and his OnlyFans. So we'll get more into it. But he does bring up a good point. The risk factor maybe isn't as much anymore than what it was in terms of like our sexual health. But what do you think about like outdoors or an airport, finding people, or Cody, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
You use sniffies a lot. Do you ever use it for, hey, I'm going to be at this locale for that? Because we've talked about it where you can actually put a headline via Craigslist back in the day and say what you are going to do, where you want to be.
Yeah, I haven't done it for any parks, but when I was flying through Denver Airport, I think I've still told this story before. And when I was flying through Denver Airport, I went on sniffies. Really hot guy, Asian, beautiful, muscly. We met up. He was in a completely different terminal. I went to a different terminal. We went to, which
oh my God, that's so funny. It's such a small independent film. Sorry, keep going.
That's the name of it. A different terminal. I love it.
Terminal.
Yeah.
This is my
Different
story.
terminal.
Yes, Queen.
Let's write it. Let's do it.
So,
Upcoming.
We'll meet there together. I'm not Asian, but it's fine.
It's okay. We could. I mean, you know.
Keep going.
So and
We're
then,
really building up this story. You better.
It better be a
deliver.
good, yeah.
No, he will.
No, that's the end of it. I went to a different terminal. No, no, I'm joking. So no, we met up and then we went into one of the stalls in the bathroom. Right, it was a really busy day, and we just started fucking.
Really?
In the
Wow.
bathroom.
In an airport bathroom.
Yes,
In Denver.
an airport bathroom in Denver.
In
It was me
America.
In America. Yeah. In a different terminal.
In a different terminal.
This is going to sound a little bit crude or not. Okay, we have a sex podcast,
Yeah.
but I would do that maybe in a domestic flight, but
Oh,
I
yeah, it
feel
was a domestic
internationally
flight. No,
like
I
I'm a little bit not as fresh as I would like to be, and I take
I
my
will tell you-
probiotics.
So there were
on
issues,
a long-
but I didn't care. I kept
Okay,
going.
yeah, that's all I
There
would.
were
Way before
complications.
sniffies, there was sex in lounges. And if you've made it into the lounge, it's nice. And of course you have sex in the
Oh
lounge.
well, yeah,
yeah,
sometimes there's
nice.
showers.
They have
in the
showers. They have
lounge.
everything. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh,
but when
well.
I came out of the stall,
But do we like the clientele that's in there?
Yeah.
I mean, some of them
Better
are
than what's
doable.
out there.
when we came out of the stall, there was just a huge line, and it was two guys coming out of one stall. So
Those are some of my favorite.
Wow.
I know, right?
and
But-
you live to tell.
But now I can tell this story. I didn't get
Right.
arrested in Denver, and I had some really hot sex. He can call me too.
That's cool. That airport looks like Cirque du Soleil.
I didn't.
Have
really
you seen the?
explore.
Oh, you only saw the
I
inside.
only
I'm
saw
talking about
two.
the outside. It's really cute. Sorry.
So I only
I
saw
love
2
it.
terminals.
Why do I keep apologizing?
I love cruising. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
And
What are your cruising stories, girl? You didn't
well,
get into it.
I did talk about
He did.
the one. Yeah, dark rooms are my favorite one,
Okay.
and the one in the gym that I shared with you is
Okay.
really big.
Sorry.
I would be into using something like sniffies. Dude's nude is not really cruising, correct, Cody?
I just got an email from Dude's Nude.
Did you?
Did
Yeah.
you?
I did too.
Saying like your account is still here and we're about to have a transformation or what? I loved
Yeah.
Dude's Nude.
Me too. I used to love it.
this
It's
isn't really
still-
cruising.
Oh, it's still there. And what's crazy is your photos that you put up back then. Talk about looking at old photos of yourself and just being like, wow, I was that. I was that guy.
Yeah.
Twinkie. I was Twinkie when I was on Dude's
I was
Nudes.
never Twinkie. I
Well, the
was
thing
always
about
the
Dude's
adult
Nude
in
that
the
I
room.
like, that's the one that
It's
you
photos
Can,
I
it's
can pull it
photos,
up.
but you can also
and
post
interests.
Isn't there live cam?
Live cam.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to talk about. So live cam, I've done a few times, and it's kind of fun. And
okay.
you can either go on live cam and look at who's live currently, and see people jacking off and doing their thing. You can turn your camera on, and of course, I always put my light on, and I'm in I create a studio moment, but you then
Girl, if it's
communicate
not
with
good lighting, girl,
right?
then
I know.
why are we even doing
yeah.
it?
And sometimes you can kind of, if you don't want to show your face, you can do like from the chin down or whatever. And that's not necessarily cruising, although you're cruising amongst other people online. I do like
No,
that.
that's cruising.
I guess it's cruising. It's a modern day version of cruising.
I think that that's definitely cruising.
Yeah.
I have 2 quick points,
Yes.
and then I'm sure we're moving on,
Yes.
right? But one is I tried to do that camera thing. This is one of my funniest stories, and it was more of a leather camera thing, and I had the full outfit. I was like full steamed Lincoln, laying on
With
my
Lincoln,
bed
yes.
with multiple pillows behind me. The camera was set up perfect. And Salty Pretzel came up and sat on my head and ruined.
the moment.
I've never been back on it since at all. The other thing I'll say, Peter and I are now, I think on December 20th, will be 7 years
Oh my
together.
goodness.
And monogamous the whole time.
Wow.
And flirting and cruising and appreciating other people when you are monogamous has a new hotness to it.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
On the other
yeah.
side, when you've been monogamous that long, which I didn't really think about that.
Are both
Because
of you?
I always need an itch. Like I'm an addict and I like sex, and I had sex with a million people all the time for so long that I got tired of it, which is why I'm really enjoying not doing that. But there is a middle ground of just flirting that has a different meaning now.
I'm
Even like
glad.
when we meet other couples, when we talk to other people out in public, and especially when we draw that line, there's like another way to flirt. It's fun.
I think it's really
Interesting.
healthy. I mean,
It is, right?
My friend
Yeah.
Patrick says it all the time. It's just because you get in a relationship, it's not, he's like, the idea of being with one dick for the rest of your life. And I'm kind of like with him. And I'm like, yeah, no. But a love is a love is a love is a love. And I'm about to get married and I totally feel that. But Diego saying, go downstairs. I'm fine. And I did have a little bit of fun, and
Right.
we
And
can
that's
talk
fine, too.
about
Like,
it.
that's-
Yeah,
yeah.
Everybody's
Absolutely.
different.
and I love
everybody-
it. And it works for us, and I love it. But I love him so much.
Yeah.
And also relationships evolve and things change. And
Yes.
Lord knows what might happen in 5 years or 10 years.
Exactly.
But I like
Right.
that
Evolution.
when you're single for a while, or you're engaged and about to be married, or you've been with someone for a very long time, you define that rule.
Yeah.
And that's where you are right now. And the more you are that, the more the next thing will be. Like, just if you've been single for a while, the moment you get someone in your life and you're like, oh my God, I forgot about all that
How
stuff.
connected it could be.
And once
how-
you get married, maybe things will shift. And
Absolutely,
you'll be like, well,
yeah.
for a year, we want to try this. And then, because if we don't change the rate of what we're doing, how do you grow?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right?
I think stagnation and
think
doing the same thing is the epitome of a downfall in life.
Yeah.
Really, you got to like mix up every situation.
Yeah.
And the way you do
Sorry,
that is
I
by
was still
being
going.
open to new experiences and and things that you can do in your relationship.
Absolutely. Moving on to Sex Talk 2. I love that 'cause it just reminds me of TED Talk. But this was stemmed from
coin that.
an article that said how to be the hookup he can't stop thinking about. Some hookups are fine, good, even, and then there are those ones that linger in your brain for days, weeks, maybe even years. The ones that make you smile, squirm when you're sitting at your desk. And if you want to be that hookup, they came up with about 6 things to do. I'll read them. We'll discuss about friends with benefits. Number 1, show up like you want to be there. If you walk in acting like you're doing him a favor, the vibe's already dead. Be warm, flirty, make him feel like you've been looking forward to this all day. Enthusiasm is hot, desperation isn't. Should we take these one by one?
Yeah.
When I've had friends with benefits, and I never forget this more recent history one where I met him at the Naked Beach that you and I have gone to, Cody. That he was with somebody, a partner, but we were so hot and heavy, and we exchanged numbers, and we almost, on the ferry ride home, I met him in the bathroom on the ferry. We were going to have it, but we
Talk about
realized
cruising.
it was basically almost as small as a plane coach. And he's like, are we really going to do this in here? And I said, yeah, no. But we got each other's number, and we ended up for a really nice period of time, about a year. We would meet up about every 3 weeks, usually on a Saturday morning, and he would come over, and he would talk a little bit dirty on sexting, and by the time he got here, we were like ready to rip each other. We were present, I think is what this is saying. Show up like you want to be there. He showed up like I was ready for him, and because we did it for several times, each time got better and better. And I'll never forget one time, because I do think he was with a partner, he said, I'm so ready for you, but I cannot climax. I can't come on this visit. Because I think he was saving it up
Gotta save it for
his partner
It's a
later.
good man right there,
And
Savannah.
I was like, well, I thought I was a
Call
little...
it cheater.
Maybe
We don't
they
know what
had
their
things
story
go-
was.
Exactly.
You never know.
You know, I never
I'm
I never
carrying
wanted
on.
to
Relationships.
ask because I didn't want to go there. But I was like, okay, I kind of took it as a challenge, and I pushed him and pushed him. I was being a little naughty. But I sat on top of him and wrote it. And I think
You
I
tried
was
to
so...
get it out of him?
I was a little bit.
You dirty boy.
I was naughty. And I ended up making myself come just writing him, because I think that and everything else was so hot, and I'd burst out of me, and it was amazing. But we had this nice thing going for a really nice period of time.
Nice.
Show up like you want to be there. What do you say to that?
If you're doing all that, I'm dating. I'm sorry. I don't have fuck buddies. I never did.
In your entire life.
In my entire life, after like 3 times, either we're going to be boyfriends or we don't need to do that again. Or we can, yeah, for the most part, my life is,
Do you like
I never
everybody?
made that work, and I could never date multiple people at a time either. If I tried to date 2 people at a time, like juggling or whatever, oh my God, I would repeat the wrong story to the wrong person, or be telling them a story about the other person like they're my friend. But we just had, I'm kind of rooted, like basic with this.
Yeah, I tried that for a while.
I can't.
And it gets a little complicated.
It's too complicated. I can't handle it.
It's only complicated if you make it, because I used to be just like that. And if you become a little bit detached from it, then it's totally fine. You know, if
Yeah.
you're not thinking too hard about it.
I will say to you though, I have had love affairs in my life where I've had friends that I've like slept with a few times and we never had sex again. We were never boyfriends, but not like a regular. If we're going to do that, I feel I should get paid.
But see, the thing is, sometimes
People give me money for
You're
stuff like that. Why am I doing this with
You're
you?
like, I'm putting a lot into this. I need to be getting something from return. Either you're going to pay
At
me or you're
least
going to be my boyfriend.
A bakery
Good-
item or something. I don't know.
good sex is so valuable, and I put a value to it because you can have a one-off here and there. You can have a one-off in the dark room, and it is what it is. But when you meet somebody and they come over, or you go over there, and it's like really hot, I feel the natural inclination is you want to do this again. You want more. And sex, typically, therapists say this, it only gets better the next time,
Oh, yeah, for
over
sure.
and over. It's actually not like a drug. Like when you do a drug, that's the best that it will ever, and everything's a little bit
Right.
down. Sex can actually get better because you
Depends on the
start.
drug, but
Well, depending on what drug, and we're going to
Go
talk
ahead,
about that
go
on this
ahead.
episode too. But what do you say to that? You are out in these streets right now. I know I
You
keep
call me a
saying that.
streetwalker?
No, but the boy that you met up with the other day, I was like, oh, he's so sexy and cute. And
Which one?
oh, I know. Well, all right.
Girl. Yeah, I had a good time on Thursday. Yeah. What was the question again?
Well, it's basically,
Show up like I mean it, like I
yeah,
want to be there.
How to be the hookup he can't stop thinking
So
about.
every
So that it's
time-
not just this one-off that I think the whole point of this is if you find really good sex, you don't necessarily want to get together with them.
Yeah.
But it's so good and you just want to like do it again.
I've been
Yeah,
hooking up a
yeah.
lot, and I always get repeat customers. Okay.
Okay, that's a good one.
She puts it down, all right? And you know what? It's because when I go there, I'm very excited to have
Because
sex.
it's free. I'm kidding.
I'm a cheapo.
I know,
That's why.
exactly. I'm like, have you checked your
No,
bank
no, no, no,
account?
no.
I'm glad they always come back.
I put it down.
At least do a 2-for-1.
And I've done that too. But every time I go in there, I love having sex. So I go in there with an enthusiasm.
Right.
I hooked up with this couple, and they were saying that sometimes the vibes are off, that sometimes the guys come in and they're not engaging. And I was like, who wants to go somewhere and have sex with somebody if they're not engaging? So we talked for a little bit after we actually had sex, and it was fun. We had a great time. I feel like if you were going to have sex with somebody, then you should at least like them. So, and I see what you're saying about your experiences. And I don't know. I feel like for me, I could definitely have a fuck buddy. I'm looking for a couple right now, actually.
I love
I'm
it.
taking applications.
Yeah, I get
because
that.
right now I'm not in a situation or a place where I want to have a boyfriend. So I think the next best thing to having a boyfriend is having a fuck buddy, somebody I can cuddle with. I'm not looking for that type of commitment right now.
Well, I mean,
Right.
what we're really saying is choose your time wisely. We're all super busy. We all have a lot going on in life. And sex, choose your sex partners wisely. If there's somebody that you really connect with, put more energy in that than these other 15 over here that are randomy. I just feel like choose your energy, which leads us to keep your energy in the room, which phones down, music on, eyes locked. Even in a casual fling, people can tell when you're mentally somewhere else and focus on the experience.
I
That's
think
just an
that's
obvious
a
one.
high bar
You think
in
so?
today's day and age. Yeah. I
Is
do.
hooking- who's out there in these streets?
do.
I'm there to
The reason I
to
say
please.
this is I go to the theater a lot, and you throw people to sit down and focus on something for 2 hours with everything that's coming our way on our phone, on the streets, in our minds, in our past, and where we're trying to get to, and what's going on politically. The phone repetitiveness that's just showing you. People can't even say hello sometimes.
wild to me.
I just think there's a lot of empathy that has to go into relationships these days to connect. I mean, I find myself overloaded at times when I look at people's face and I can't. I don't have the energy to focus right now on just you. I don't know. I
That's
I think it's.
Do you have the energy for this podcast right now?
I'm working at it.
Okay.
I feel like you're very engaged right now, and you know what?
No, I am.
I'm addicted to my. I'm addicted to my phone, but I don't find it difficult, like you said, to go to a play and focus, or if I'm watching a movie. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just,
I was
strange
listening to
me.
something. Are we okay?
What is mine? Test. Yes. Okay, we're okay now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were we not okay?
I lost
for a
my
while?
audio, and I'm
Is it
back.
still recording,
yeah,
though?
It is.
Okay.
It's still recording.
Where were we?
Well, just
it is. Sorry.
I was
all good.
listening to something on NPR or PBS or something like that where they were trying to break this down of how hard it is because of what we're putting ourselves through with our phones and the way the world's working these days to just stop and focus on another person. How that can be, and people's skill in talking is even hard. I see it at the bakery. There's just some people, they're not in it. They're in a totally different world.
And I know I've
in
said
the
this
world.
before, but I do, and I don't know, when I went to Mexico and back in California, and I've carried it back here, and I'm continuing it, is my morning routine. I set that intention, and you can call it prayer, meditation, and most of the time, the same things I ask for are to thank for this day, but be in the moment, and to connect with those that I come in contact. And if I happen to know who I'm going to be in contact with that day, I set a specific intention
That's
for
so
those
good.
people. And believe it or not, the power of meditation, the power of prayer, it works, because my mind
Totally
can
works.
I can tend to be like, oh my gosh, the wedding, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, and what are we doing? And I can get a little racy in my mind, and it helps.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it works.
I don't know. You know what? While we were just having this conversation, I think I had 8 thoughts that went through my brain, and some of them were related to the topic, and some of them were not. So maybe
Okay,
I'm not
Rose,
as good as
come
I
back.
thought I was. But I feel like it's all about like recentering yourself as far as making sure you're present. It's like you can have those thoughts. Don't beat yourself up for having those thoughts, but make sure once you notice that you're having those thoughts, you try and drop back into where you are. Does that make sense?
It does, life coach over there, because no, you know why it makes sense is because we all get distracted.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, it's almost like, remember Kabbalah and that red thing.
The
Bracelet,
string.
The string.
I think
Rachel string?
I think
Was
the
that
whole
what it
point
was?
of that red string was to kind of like tap yourself, like to get you, oh, I'm going off in a
Yeah, it's a
direction.
reminder.
And it's a reminder. And so, but you don't need the red string. You can just do it on your own. And I often do that too. Like, oh, I'm drifting over here. There's no problem with drifting. It's pulling it back and getting back on track. And so I think, that's beautiful.
Because when I'm having sex, sometimes I think about laundry, but I need to focus on my sex.
Okay, I'm just going to
Wow.
read one
Okay.
more, because this to me is what would get the person to come back. Leave him with a signature. This could be a filthy line you whisper right before he finishes, a way you kiss, a certain move that makes his knees buckle, a little tell he'll remember. Give him something to associate you, so the next time he thinks of it, he thinks of you. I think if you really are having great sex with somebody and you want them to come back, you do need to plant that seed. And I've always had a
pun
little
intended.
bit of I've always had a little bit of that Sammy Joe in me, and I know that's an old reference, and or something that was just like a little devious, that I'm always planting a seed in somebody, like, you will come back to me. You will, like, me.
That sounds like witchcraft.
I mean, I've done this with people, like, with even my partner. I'm like, I told his friend he will be my boyfriend.
Oh,
and
my
I was that. I know. I don't know. It was like a spell or whatever. But
get it, Alphaba.
but I'm just saying, what does that relate to you? Leave him with a signature so that he comes back to you.
I would hide my business card in his wallet and see if his boyfriend finds it.
How does he have a boyfriend? How do you know he has
Because
a boyfriend?
didn't we say that he couldn't come, or like because someone was
In my situation, yeah.
in your situation?
Oh, that's
right.
really
yeah
devious.
for yours.
Devious maids,
Right?
yeah, over
Yeah.
there.
I used to
Yeah.
love that show.
Devious
I think when you really are into somebody, those little things come up. It's a good reminder.
It is.
It is a really good reminder to like do stuff like this. I think we all
Yeah.
need daily reminders of how to just breathe. So
Yeah.
we should all do that with each other. Leave a little line that you remember me the next time.
That lingers,
Yeah, that
right?
And whisper,
lingers.
hello, darling. And
Whether it's a
Like
hookup or not.
Like a gift bag, right?
Like a gift bag.
inside joke, you guys.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We want to hear about what you think about these topics. It will carry the conversation over, but it's time to get into hot topics. And there were
Yay.
a bunch of them, including throuples that we were just recently. These throuple pics raise the love to the power of 3. I'll show you some here. I'll post it on tagspodcast.com. But it's a bunch of different guys that are in throuple relationships at various sizes, ages, and so forth.
Aw,
really showing people, I have to say, in the last, like, let me just use 10 years, I have come across a lot of throuples where it's become kind of common nature, and I really enjoy it. I think it's really beautiful, and I don't think we give them enough attention. That there's a couple that I work with Vakaya often, and there is a throuple. There was 2 of them that were an initial couple, been together for years and years and years. They met this third. They are probably around my age, and they're little in their 40s, 50s, and it's working out for them, and it's really kind of cool. I really like. We don't really give enough attention to throuples, and when you see these pictures, Lincoln, about throuples making it happen, and what are your thoughts? And could you be in a throuple?
Sure. Peter and we're very content, but we flirt with people that might be other couples or single. And you can imagine in that moment of like, hey, what if? You know what I mean? The magic if. I think it's sexy. I think it's fun. In my mind, sure. But in practicality, that hasn't come up for us. But I like the throuples that are in my life. I don't think we need to necessarily count they're cool.
Yeah.
I don't think they need a focus on, though. Like whether it works for you or not is kind of private in a way.
Well,
I mean, than celebrating, yay, throuples. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it did come up on my wedding when I invited. The way I thought my wedding website worked was you can invite a single person or a couple.
Mm-hmm.
There was this thing called group. Okay, I think I didn't understand that. That would have been the throuple category.
Oh, okay.
And we do have a throuple coming to the wedding. And when I when I went to that invitation, I just went to the original couple that I knew, and they came back to me and said, "Oh, I thought," which I don't think they did, but I thought you said we can invite our other partner, and it was like, "Oh," and I was like, it's kind of a flaw of the wedding site because I don't know how to do that. But then I just sent them an individual one, and
Right.
But it's group apparently on the site that we're using that you would do that.
Well, that's good.
So I was being a little.
I'm sure that's not
I was
overly-
thinking that my wedding website was being a little conservative, but you just call it group, and but
you got
but
it.
it did kind of
Well-
come up because I was like, how am I going to? But
Yeah.
they will all be at the same table, and it'll all be copacetic. But what do you say to this?
So I never really gave it any thought, really. But then I know I spoke about this couple that I hooked up with, and when I was having sex with them, the energy was so good. I was like, "This is what if I was in a throuple, this is what I would want it to be."
Right.
like.
Yeah.
You wanted to create that.
Yeah,
I get that.
So it was fantastic, and I feel like I could actually be in a throuple now. But I think that
I love that.
the energy would have to be it would be balanced in a certain way, and I think that I feel like everybody was into everybody when we were having sex. So I feel like I could totally do it, and having sex with this couple has made me realize that I can be in a throuple.
Here's what I've learned about throuples is that often it's a couple that didn't even think about a throuple, that wasn't even in the zeitgeist of their arena. It just that they flirted maybe over time, connected mutually with this third person,
Right.
and somehow with the energy in the universe, it made sense. And every conversation I've had with throuples, that seems to be the common. It wasn't that, because at one point I was thinking, do I want to be in a throuple?
Yeah.
And then like, how would I go? It's like, bitch, find a partner first and then work on that. Yeah, don't go. I know.
That's hilarious.
Right, I know, but
You're jumping the gun, girl.
Right, yeah. So
Let's take it one at a time.
yeah.
Yeah, I will say when I was single for a long time, I would go to play parties and stuff like that and imagine like two other people that I would see. I think that was kind of my fuck buddy, was just going to play parties and being with the same people at those parties.
Yeah.
But not necessarily at my, you know what I mean? Anyway.
I could see you and Peter getting hit up a lot by a third. I just feel like,
but the
you both
moment
have
we feel someone has that like
energy,
intention, it's a
turn off.
hard nut to crack with us.
Yeah.
Like, but it would happen
I mean,
very naturally if that was to happen.
Yeah.
And that would never work. Peter's a very jealous person. Peter's like,
oh really?
Yeah,
he's very protective. He's very like, you don't fuck with that.
We just so funny.
But you never know. He's also sometimes like, let's go to Folsom. It'll
We
be
just
fun.
did this video today that we're going to post on a reminder for our wedding of 14 questions. They asked couples. So Barack and Michelle did it recently, and you have to, our friend read it to us, and you have to point on who's the more grumpy in the morning, and you point. Yeah, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
They didn't ask the jealousy one, but the pointing originally would have pointed at me, but now I'm not so much jealous anymore with him.
I'm
and-
super jealous.
Yeah.
So I get Peter, but I think that
Great.
I get him. I totally do.
I was,
I
but
think he
I'm
had
not
cancer too,
anymore.
though.
He has a cancer
See
too.
that? Hello, goodbye.
That's why you guys pick Leos. Try and rein them in.
Hello. But yeah, so but honestly, I feel like I'm telling you, this couple that I had sex with, they kind of like rewired my brain when it comes to this. So
That's cool. I like it when that happens.
yeah. So I mean, I feel like I could do it now. And just, I mean, if it's something you're interested in, just hit them up and let them know. But try and like, I don't think you're into that anyway. So yeah.
Moving on,
You're
there
like, not
is
We like
interested.
people watching us. It's a
Oh,
different thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
so
like
fun.
we'll go to a back room. You can't touch, but you can watch. You can get as close as you want, but you can't touch.
That makes me come in 2 seconds.
Right.
moving on. There is this guy that I follow on TikTok, and he goes by simply.underrated0. He works in a bathhouse. I forget what town here in America, and he tells these stories of just working there, and it's really interesting
We've
and
discussed
fun.
them a couple times, right?
Yeah, and his latest one, he tells us of a man who spent 27 hours in the bathhouse without a break. Quote, I plan on
Where?
sleeping.
Did he eat?
Where?
Well,
In
the
a
guy said, I
bathhouse.
plan on...
No.
Oh.
Where is the bathhouse located?
We're not really sure.
I could get that in a second, but the
Okay,
guy said,
sorry.
I plan on sleeping here. He told workers, but everyone knew there wasn't going to be much sleeping going on. The person writing said this. I was like, I definitely think you should go get some food, get some water, breathe some fresh air, and then come back. But the guy left for 1 hour, came back, clocked in for another 8 hours of hard labor. This was a little crazy. The guy wasn't even that old. And I mean, I've been in a bathhouse, but come up for there. I will tell this one story in Barcelona. In Barcelona, there's this great bathhouse where you go in there and they clearly state it on the door that anybody that you see that's going to be trying to pick you up is working, and they're mostly Brazilians, so you have to pay for them. That was fine by me. There's a cafe in there. There is showers. You can eat.
A gym.
So it's very. I mean, it just works, kind of. If you really did want to, I saw some people, the Brazilians, on their laptops, so they're doing a little bit of email and all that. I could get some work done and spend it there. A traditional bathhouse here, I don't know.
Did you also hook up with other people there?
No, it's very specific on that one.
On that one, it's only the people that work there that you can hook up with.
If somebody approaches
Wow.
you,
I didn't know that.
you have to pay for. This is that one in Barcelona that I'm talking about.
I
That
don't-
you have
yeah.
to pay for them, which was fine, and it wasn't that much, but it was good. But what do you think about this guy? Like on and on and on and on and on. I mean, is he just living his? I hate to use this term because I hate living your best life sometimes. I do actually like it.
Yeah.
But you know this, we're going to get off topic. I hate you do you, boo. I hate that. I hate it.
If Boo
I just told my
is ever involved,
I love Boo.
Well, we call each other boo, and I love
each other
it.
Boo.
Jeremy.
I'm not a Boo person.
But you do
Okay,
you,
Boo.
boo.
And you could say that to me.
The
but
reason I
only
don't
you.
like we're getting you do
You and like
boo,
two other people.
You do you, boo is. I feel like you don't really mean that.
Yeah, it's kind of backhanded,
And I don't
or
like that.
insincere.
It's just
I get that.
cringing. But anyway, what do you say to this guy who's spending 27 hours?
No, I went very dark. I need to know where the bathhouse is. Is it like full amenity bathhouse, or is he on a
Okay, well,
crystal?
we'll go to you while I figure this out.
Or is he on a crystal meth bench?
Well, there is
Oh, my
that.
Lord.
right? Because there's
Jesus.
people that go into a bathhouse,
Yeah,
and they have a
don't-
problem,
and they don't
and
eat, and they just
yeah.
want to get fucked.
and they just want to be there for a couple. I remember the West Side Club on 20th
Yeah.
Street.
I used
People
to
would be
love it
there
there.
for days.
Would they? I could
I
only spend a
think
couple
so.
hours.
People
in
have
there.
died in bathhouses.
Died?
Yes, of course.
People have died everywhere.
But you know what I thought of when it went on
Not
and
like
on?
in Stonewall.
read,
Nobody died at
I read the
Stonewall.
whole. But
Not
you know,
a protest die.
You know what
It's just
somebody
like-
brought up in comment section that really got me thinking that my empathy factor really raised was maybe he doesn't have a place to live.
That's what
and
it
that
is.
is a thing too, and we need to realize that a lot of people hook up sometimes and go to sleep with other people to kind of have not a place to stay, but essentially
A
that's
place to stay.
Yeah, and
Homosexuals.
and there's a lot of people that, you know, sadly or not, are currently in between.
So, on a less dark note, but still like in the same vein, I was thinking maybe he was visiting and he didn't want to pay for a hotel.
Yeah, it's like a youth hostel. It
Yeah.
actually sounds like that's why I keep
But
saying.
youth hostels are pretty cheap,
Yeah,
and you
but
still
I'm
have to pay
saying-
the cover to get into this
But also,
place.
yeah, but
he
he's
can-
around his community
and
if
he can
he's
just
gay.
if he wants to have sex, he would just pay to get
Yeah.
in there.
So you're
And-
saying
and if
why do a
there's-
youth hostel? I had sex with somebody in a
I'd
youth
rather
hostel.
go to a gay bathhouse
I
than a
had
youth
sex
hostel.
in a youth hostel in Harlem,
in
and there was a
Harlem?
little bit of a window too. Yes, I met.
Are you back in that steam room we were talking about earlier?
I
With the
forgot
little
about,
window.
I forgot about this. It's not related to our thing tonight, but yeah, I met up with a guy, and he was in. And I said, "You could come here," and he's like, "Oh, we'll come uptown." And it was a hostel.
Oh wow!
And
I would have thought that
aside
it was like
from that window,
in
it
France
was
or something, but no, it was
no,
in Harlem.
here in the good old, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to ask though, what year was that?
This was maybe 4 years ago.
Oh,
5, yeah.
Are you short pre-pandemic?
It was pre-pandemic, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, the pandemic was longer.
So maybe longer, yeah.
The pandemic messes with our heads.
100%.
I don't even know where the 90s are anymore. Right? I've lost them because of this fucking pandemic.
But did you say your point? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah.
27 hours in a bathhouse. What do you think?
Yes. So I think that I could never do that. I need to see the sun eventually, and especially if the bathhouses are so dark, and I could never. You lose time in there. I feel like the most I could spend in a bathhouse is like 5 hours.
You just reminded me. I remember when I went to Berlin the first time, I was there for almost 20 days, and it
In
was
the
so
bathhouse?
good. Yes, in the bathhouse. No, but I did remember one time I was just going and kind of chasing the moment. I was turning 40.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
45. 40? 45, not 40. 40
Yeah.
40 was Wicked. 45 was Berlin. And I went to a bathhouse, and I took a shower, and I went into that room, and I had the best sleep.
Oh.
And I just slept for like 4 hours. I just locked the door, and I just slept and rebooted and went back out and did sauna for a while. And then I did the steam room with the people with the oils and all that.
Oh.
And sweated out
go
a
to
lot of
Berlin.
my partying and all that, and went back and just laid in that room and slept. I didn't even have sex with anyone.
Wow.
It was so nice. And I had a pizza because they had a really good cafe.
I mean,
love that cafe.
Berghain, I was there till 2:00 the next day, and I remember there's cavernous areas that I went into.
Yeah, well, Berghain
and it
is a
just
different
kept
world.
going
That-
and going, and
yeah.
time just happened, and it was fabulous. But
But there's not a shower at Bearcat. I mean, that's a different experience.
Yeah, it was
that's
a different
party
experience.
the whole time.
Yeah,
The best,
I think
but don't get me
you
wrong.
need to be careful in some of these situations because people can. We're about to talk about another thing. Did you have one last thing to say?
No.
Okay, yeah.
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 I just think that you can, like you said, it's probably really good sleep because it's so dark in there,
Yeah.
and you don't get to see any sun. Like I know the sun.
I
makes
also, though, I realized when I woke up that I had turned the lock on like a wooden door. You know, it was like it wasn't like a hotel room. It was just like a hookup room in the back. You know, like at West Side Club, like little rooms. And like, if I had done too many drugs or if I had done like too much, even though that wasn't me at the moment, like you could just die in. Like it's crazy. Like you said
100%.
earlier. Like just be careful, people.
Yeah.
That's all.
So this one really I wanted to talk about because there was really it was a health update by Elt.com that says what is G, the party drug popular on the gay scene, and health experts were explaining. We all know it's the gay party drug that many of us use for sex on the dance floor. Many people use it, and if you're just sorry if you already know what it is, what is G? Why is it so popular? What are the dangers? To break it down, Dr. Philip Kwan, chief of anesthesia, looked at it, and many others did, and basically explained what it was. And it's essentially hold on, why am I not finding it?
Our host is having a stroke because he's done too much G.
Wow.
Exactly.
Please hold.
Well, it became popular in the fitness world under a false belief that it would increase HGH production. At one point, it was marketed in health and wellness stores as a supplement to build muscle. GHB eventually made its way to nightlife and party environments where it gained a reputation for causing euphoria, profound relaxation, and disinhibition. What are the effects? Well, like chemsex, it's that feeling of euphoria and can make sex last for a prolonged period of time. Why do people use it on the dance floor? I think because it does break down those things. What are the dangers? In the short term, it can have devastating consequences. It can cause high blood pressure, which increases strain on the heart and vascular system. And when combined with other substances like alcohol or other depressants, it can amplify the mental and respiratory changes, which may lead to greatly depressed breathing and possible hypoxia. It can cause death. Many of us know, and I'm just going to be really real. What I liked about this article is that it wasn't like shame on you, but it's like realize this is a part of our community, and it was out.com. I have tried it before. I'm just going to put myself on the record before. I don't love it. People have offered it to me. It's not really my thing. I've gone to a party here and there, and sure, it relaxed me a little bit. I have been very aware if I've been drinking too much because I was nervous about that, and we've all seen cases, I feel like, in this table of a party where somebody's taken to the medic. I do like that it's talking about the popularity of it, how it's been around, and how it's part of our community. What do you say to this when you hear this as just sort of, not a warning, but it is embracing the fact that it's part of chemsex?
I'm happy that there's articles about this. Yay. Because the more we know about it, the better. And that's the most important thing. I'll share my experience with G. I've done G. I've lost a lot of friends to G. I think that one of the owners of, I've lost a lot of friends to G. Especially back in the beginning days when it first came out. You do not drink and do G, period.
Yeah.
It's the end of the report. If you've been drinking and someone offers you G, you say no. It's that simple. It's not worth it. I did G to, I feel that G has a beginning, a middle, and an end as a drug. When I first did it, it was very spectacular. Then I did it differently for a while, and it lost its effects. And I did a bear week. This is such a confessional. It's very like Catholic right now. It's fine. I went to a bear week in Provincetown and did so much G that I don't remember the bear week.
Oh, wow.
Like it erases your memory is my take on G. When you do it, the effect of G is like 2 shots of really good alcohol instantly.
Okay.
That's without cause of euphoria. Instantly. Like you just do G and at the beginning and you do it and it's like, whoosh, you're just 2 drinks. All the levels are perfect. You're good to roll. Mm-hmm. And then you have to time it to do it an hour and a half later or 2 hours later so that you don't do too much. It's also the date rape drug. So for the women, it was the date rape drug. That's when it started. And I learned that you did G at night as a bodybuilder because it made your body flatten so hard with rest that you were able to rip more muscle the next day. So when you talked about the fitness industry, I didn't realize that it emulated HCG, which I think is what you said. But anyway, all I'm going to say is just be careful with it. But I had some great times on it. And drugs change. I think that G is very dependent on where you get it and the quality of it. And be careful.
Like anything.
And I just want to say one more thing. If you're on a Circuit Boy weekend, in any way, shape, or form, whether it's on a cruise ship or at a place or whatever, absolutely do not put eye drops in your eyes. A lot of people do their G when they travel in eye drops, and I had someone put eye drops in their eyes and it was GHB. So just be careful. It's such a public service announcement.
Somebody else did the same thing.
Just be careful, because just never use someone else's eye drops no matter where the fuck you are. But if you're at a circuit party, don't do it.
Yes, somebody else told me the exact same story about they thought they were doing G and they put the drops in. It was something completely different and were sick. Thank goodness didn't die.
Yeah.
But
because that's
yeah.
real.
I mean, and we're talking about this because we're a sex podcast and we're not blind to the fact. I admitted I've done it before. It's just not my thing. And I feel like the risk factor is just not there enough for me to, but hey, what do you say to it?
I've only done G once, and
It's a good idea to get that out, right?
I enjoy. Turn it this way. Hello.
Sorry, just turn this a little bit. Sorry, man.
No, you're wonderful, darling. So I've only done G one time. I enjoyed my experience, but I'm so glad that we're talking about this because I didn't know any of this. I think
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was drinking. I'm very innocent and angelic. We didn't know this.
No.
And 27.
And 27.
And apparently a compulsive liar. Okay, moving on.
No,
Our friend over here.
who is a new person apparently. No, I didn't know any of this. So I think when I did it, I had been drinking. So
Never.
So I think
Let's be honest. It's chemistry. It is serious. A wrong move, a little too much, the wrong mixture can go south. And we've all participated in it. We know our community does at times. Not everybody listening to this show, so please don't come back at us. But we're talking about it because we know it's something real that relates to sex, and we are a sex podcast. I just think you really do need to know the source, who is giving it to you, what you've currently done. And that whole bit that I haven't even gone through the laundry list of what you should be probably doing. That's a lot. And to take in, if you still want to, just know that.
So I want to add this tidbit. I bought fentanyl strips so I could test
smart.
the
I was
test
gonna
the
suggest
drugs.
Thank you for saying that.
So I'm
and
glad
you can
you
get
said
them
what you
on
said.
Amazon
You can
for
get them on
super
Amazon.
cheap.
Yeah,
And test
that's
your
where
drugs.
I got mine from. I test all my drugs now because it's very serious and people are dropping like flies from the fentanyl.
Well, they are and they're not. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good that
still
you're
a
responsible
danger.
for that.
Yeah,
No.
But why not, when they're so cheap, just get those and put them in, if you're
So-
traveling, put them in your pack.
But also don't be scared. There's a lot of people out there that want to have the experience.
yeah.
You're responsible for your own world. We don't want to scare everyone away.
No, but I
want
just
people
try
to
and
be
be
aware.
responsible.
I'm not trying to scare
and I
anybody.
just want to say
We started with the fact that we have all
100%.
tried, so
three
we're
quick
not
things.
that scared.
One, I just want to, if we're ending soon, I want to
Yes.
end on three quick things. One is do not drink and do G.
Yes.
The second one is, which this is just a little secret, if you ever do ecstasy and it goes a wrong direction, drink milk.
Milk.
A protein shake, something dairy, it'll bring you right out of
that
it.
coating factor,
Yep,
right?
It'll
of your
bring you right out of
stomach.
it. I absolutely promise. If you want to enhance ecstasy, do a vitamin C lozenge, like a slow.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Vitamins, because then it'll act like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you're going to do any of this, and we're not endorsing it,
We are
or
not.
saying we should. I wish it was regulated like marijuana is now,
Me
so
too,
that we could all
right.
like really use this stuff. But if you do this, just never do it alone. Always have a friend that you're texting or someone that knows what you're up to. In my opinion, you just don't want to do it alone. In case something happens, someone should always check on you. So
Aw.
don't do it alone, okay?
Be responsible,
and
guys.
enjoy it. It's fun.
Yes, exactly.
It can be fun.
And thanks to Out.com for talking about this, because I do think it's not acting like, oh no, don't do this, but we realize some of us do, and
It's
all
information.
Good. It's
It's
information. Always follow my co-host Cody at Mr. Maurice on Blue Sky. And on Instagram, he's got a single out right now called I Don't Want to Fight, wherever you get your music. We are live tomorrow night, Wednesday, for Tags Live, so join us. Oh, actually, you're
I won't
not
be
live.
there. Yeah,
Sorry.
I won't be there.
Yeah.
Teddy's filling in for
Teddy
me.
is filling in, but we will see you soon. Follow me on the gram. I am _Steve V. And in the meantime, continue having hot
Gay sex. Get it.
Yeah.